This one is of Vancouver matter, but it's actually sad of a Vancouver matter. There's really nothing to laugh over in this one. The Sahara reporter says Southern Kaduna community files 2 billion naira suit against former governor El-Rufai over alleged illegal detention rights violation in 2019. The claimants, led by Aweni Dio Samari, former chairman of the Adara Development Association (ADA), are demanding 2.3 billion naira in charges. I see. Yes, this is something. It's good that they are doing this. There was so much. Southern Kaduna was under so much. How do I put it now? Oppression and suppression in the last few years, and it was really unbelievable. A lot of people were arrested, a lot of people were kept in jail, some of them were kept for years. There were a lot of law cases that were out there, and at the same time also terrorists were also ravaging that whole section of Kaduna State. And seeing them now, let's see what comes out of this, and whether, of course, this would lead to some landmark judgment that would ensure that people who find themselves in position of authority do not abuse their position of authority, and they are very mindful in the way that they handle issues, so that there is no oppression, neither suppression. The Adara elders in southern Kaduna have sued former Kaduna State Governor Nasiru El-Rufai for alleged human rights violations, unlawful imprisonment, and harassment during his administration in 2019. The claimants, led by Aweni Diome Samari, former chairman of the Adara Development Association, are demanding 2.3 billion naira in damages. The counsel to the plaintiff, Gloria Balasin, explained, "My client was unjustly imprisoned by the immediate past administration of the state for more than 3 months in 2019 and later released because nothing was found against them. We are here for the case of unjust imprisonment of the Adara elders. They were imprisoned in 2019 and they came to court to seek the enforcement of their fundamental rights." According to Balasin, their chief, Raphael Mayweather Galadima, was killed in a very questionable and curious circumstances about the same time this arrest occurred under the administration of Malam Nasiru El-Rufai. I think I remember that killing. Sadly, if I think it's the one they had a meet. There were some meetings of chiefs that was done with the state government, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And then on the way, on his way back to his people, whether he had an accident or something, that was whether it was an attack by terrorists or accident. I can't remember precisely which one it was, but then unfortunately, he died. And later on, there were a lot of people who were saying that some other kind of chief who had been, whether it's always that fight between House of Fulani and the other Southern Kaduna native, whether some other head was installed, not the usual traditional people that we occupy, not the usual like how do I put it now, whether native, I don't want to use that for you to come out as a wrong word, but like we in our language we call it omoto, that's children of the land, kind of, that usually would be put in there, and it caused a lot of division, it caused a lot of rancor, and people were crying out at the injustice of it all. But I never really followed it to see how far they have gone. And that's always the thing about Nigeria, is that there are so many issues, so many cases that are being thrown at you every day, that you see. I mean, you're seeing one before 24 hours, 48 hours, 72 hours, another bigger issue had come, and then you're sort of like, you're crying over that one, you're trying to fight for the right of that one, and then another one comes. So it's so many things just keep hitting someone all at the same time. She added that Mr. Aweni Dio Meisamari and 8 others were detained for over 3 months, with the court eventually dismissing the case, finding nothing against them. Balasin said if it was Malam El-Rufai who specifically directed that the president of the Adara Development Association, Mr. Aweni Dio Meisamari, should be picked without investigation and reasonable suspicion of crime. She further stated that the Nasir El-Rufai administration was well known to be that of a cocktail of rights violation, including killings to wrongful imprisonment to attacks. The plaintiffs are seeking a perpetual injunction for 900 million naira for arbitrary arrest, compensation of 100 million naira for general and exemplary damages, 500 million naira for other damages, and special damages in the sum of 800 million naira, given the quantum of rights that were violated. So this is what has happened, and I think, yeah, it's something really that needs to be done. People, when they're in government, yes, governors have immunity, but they don't have immunity after they have left office. But even though the immunity that they have, it's really not the immunity where you cannot be investigated. It's just the fact that, yes, you cannot be arrested and all of that. And I think it's really important that people begin to take on these cases, so that when people get into office, they learn to restrain themselves and not just go unrestrained, taking on people, and all sorts of things are happening. Everyone who is a governor is the chief security officer of the state, even though, yeah, they really don't have the power per se to be able to give orders, but they have powers to sort of ask that their people be protected. It is in that Kaduna state in 2019, actually August 1st, 2019, that a journalist that called Dadiata was actually picked up. A journalist and a critic was picked up from his home, and up till now, 5 years after, nobody knows what has happened to him. There have been a lot of speculation. Some have said that he's no longer alive. He probably has been killed, or he was killed immediately after. Some are still hoping against hope that he's probably in some prison somewhere, and one day he would be able, to come out. And the saddest of it all was the fact that Diata was picked right inside his house. He had gone out, and he came into this house. He drove in, and these people just came in and sort of like, they said they looked like security agents or something, and sort of like abducted him. He was coming back. He was speaking with his wife on the phone. She had bought suya for her. He was going, and she could hear him, when she was talking, and she was inside. He had driven into the house when he was abducted. And 5 years after, Dadiata is yet, to be found. There are a lot of people who had been disappeared. There, of course, had some journalists and all of that who had been disappeared, and later they were found to be in DSS custody, even though DSS had denied that they were in their custody. And somehow, one keep hoping against hope that indeed Dadiata will be one of those that will come out and be found to be in DSS custody, or any custody, or any security agent's custody. I mean, that would be so much better than just not knowing where he is for 5 years. His mother has passed on, so she will never get to know whether her son came out or not. And then recently there was an interview where they showed the father, his wife, she's still there, his kids and everything, just waiting for their loved one to come back. But hey, we'll follow this case and see how it goes. Hopefully justice is what is allowed to remain and be sacrosanct. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.